Custom Fitting. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. This is the Sports Den with Denny Thompson and James Coleman on 1010XL.
What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36 with my man at Denny _Thompson coming to us live from the at 6 Point Studios inside of his house.
Man, this stuff's getting old, bro. I've been in this house for so long now. This is getting. I don't know how much longer.
So, like, are you quarantined, or is it like fake quarantine, like everybody used to do?
No, man. Like I'm in. So I got no choice but to be in. So it is what it is. But plenty of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, a few things happened.
Listen, this Urban Meyer stuff, like, I mean, can we just want to start there, right?
Let's go ahead.
I mean, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way right now, Jacksonville. Y'all want Urban Meyer. Like, you want Urban Meyer. Why are y'all trying to save people money? Like, I don't understand this. If the man wants $12 million, you know what I say? Give him 15. Like, what? I don't understand. Do people understand, like, Urban Meyer is an entity? Like, he's a thing. He's not a coach. He's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You actually have two different things going on here. You have an opportunity to bring in a guy that excels at a level that very few people can even understand, like, the level he's trying to play at, much less to play at it. Everywhere the guy has been, James, you know this, like, it's not a coach. It's a CEO. It's a motivator. It's like he's going to bring people up to a level that most people can't even fathom being brought up to.
Facts. I mean, let's start off like this, because I think most people don't really understand how things go. And before I get into that, this is the Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Go to thehumidor.com, type in Sports Den. At checkout, you get 20% off. The more times you do that, the more our value goes up. And see, what happens is the more money we can get paid. See, now I use that to segue into this. The market is dictated by NFL owners. If we want to be correct, there was a weird looking guy from out of Baylor who got paid $10 million a year. $10 million a year. Like, he has no national championships. He repaired one program, albeit weird, and like a lot of bad things happened to it, but it wasn't like they're national champ. I don't even think they won a Big 12. But He had enough smoke, he had enough heat coming from him that he was worth it to the Carolina Panthers. I would never, was it Matt Rule, right?
Yeah.
I would never think to pay Matt Rule $10 million. He got paid it. So how could you even cry or grimace if Matt Rule's worth $10 million? Then Urban Meyer has to be worth, like you said, 15. The market dictates this. It's going to be a bunch of people that get paid more money than what they're actually worth. That's called free agency. We see it every year. I need you to understand this, people. Don't be stupid. You see this every year. Why is it all of a sudden when it's somebody that kind of has value, that has a resume, that you scoff at it? Don't be a loser. And don't spend don't restrict Shad Khan's money. He understands how this game is played, and if he wants them, he knows he got to pay for them.
Here's the thing. Like, I got on here. I'm going to be consistent. I got on here the night that they fired Dave Caldwell. And the first thing I said was, Shad, if you do anything at all for me, then boss up here. Like, I want to see you not go after the next young, bright GM or the next young, bright guy. Like, you go get the dude. You're a billionaire. You flex on everybody. Like, if you want to call your shot in the NFL, now's the chance to call your shot in the NFL, Shad. You know what he's doing? He's flexing, James. Like, he literally is saying, give me the biggest freaking fish that there is, because Shad Khan understands this. Shad Khan did not become a billionaire by being average. Shad Khan did not become a billionaire by not taking risks. Shad Khan did not become a billionaire by not overspending once or twice in his life and jumping at an opportunity to get something special when he had it. He knew it could backfire, just like it could backfire now. The simple fact of the matter is, just like when Tom Brady signed with Tampa Bay, it's the exact same thing. The minute Urban Meyer walks in that building, there's a whole new energy and a whole new level that Jacksonville has never seen in its life, ever. You don't meet many people like Urban Meyer. You don't have people walk into a room and bring the whole damn room up to a level that it's smoking just by them walking into it. That's what Urban Meyer does. Like, that's him. And then on top of that, you got a chance to throw Trevor Lawrence on top of that. Like, I don't understand. The only one I fault here is Urban Meyer. If he's asking 12 mil, then Herb, you ain't asking enough, dog. Like, because I'm looking at what other people are making, and in today's market, if Sean Payton wanted to go out in today's market, Sean Payton would be making more than what they say Sean Payton's making. I believe he is making more than what they say.
We don't know what a lot of these other coaches make, except for the guys like Rule who it came out. But like most of, they don't have to report that.
But my just the whole premise of this whole thing is Jacksonville, let it go. Like, let yourself be great. Let yourself be inundated by this culture that we've talked about building forever. If it doesn't work, what do you have to lose? It's not your money. Like, you've been paying all this time, get your payoff. If it doesn't work, you didn't lose anything. What's the worst case? They ain't gonna go any worse than 1-15. But if it does work, this could flip the script. Like, I don't even understand. Like, I was amazed. Wig called me earlier, and Wig was like, "Yo, are you seeing this on Twitter?" And I'm like, no. And so I look at it, and I'm like, what are these people talking about? Too much. This isn't too much. This is jump at it. This is get his ass in the plane and let's get this done right now. Like, if this thing getting closed out by Wednesday, I'm gonna be disappointed. And mad props, Shad Khan. Like, I have been on your butt for the past 6 months. Nah, man. Hey, I love what Shad Khan's doing. Shad Khan is showing why Shad Khan is who he is. Like, he ain't scared. I'm going out. I'm getting the best. I don't care what anybody else thinks. And this is the best that there is. Nobody can even argue that. It's not even arguable. It's not even debatable. I don't even want to hear it. Like, this guy is it, James.
If that's who he believes is it, and that's the choice, and 15, whatever the amount of money, $12 million is what it takes, then go for it. The amount of money is not really, is none of our business, but really isn't that. He wouldn't even be would he be the highest paid person on this team?
No, God, no.
And that's the thing that most people got to step back. Stop looking at it from what you're at. Like, that's the reason why a lot of these players talk reckless now, because they know that at the end of the day, they're worth more to the franchise than the coaches. I have no problem paying a guy for results, and especially with Shad Khan really opening of his mouth and saying that, yo, I'm about to bring some alphaness in here, and I'm not going to be the baby billionaire that the media has been allegedly saying I am. I'm going to show you what it's like to be, and I'm going to be. And so if it's not working, you can blame me as well as the coaches, but I'm going to have a higher level of accountability that comes into this, as the head coach and the general manager will now directly report to him.
My passion, like my passion in life, I love to learn like about these dudes like Urban Meyer, like these guys like Shad Khan, like these guys that are just so like at a different level in the way that they react, the way that they move, the way that they associate with people. Like that. That's my real, like, performance is my passion, right? Not, you're the same way. It's not about making a kid faster. It's not about, all this other kind of stuff. It's at the end of the day, it's how do you tap out at performance? And that's what the opportunity here is. Like, and you can't put a dollar amount on that. I got a news break for all of you guys. Urban Meyer don't need this 12 mil. This isn't like Urban Meyer is just fine doing whatever Urban Meyer is doing. Urban Meyer's cashing checks right now. He don't need this money. The average person does not run into this fire. Urban Meyer's looking at this going, wait a second. If I'm going to do it, I might as well get paid handsomely to do it. But that's not the reason I'm doing it. Like, he's going to be fine. The reason Urban Meyer does this, if he wants to do it, is because he's excelled at such a high level at everything else that you can't tell him he's not going to do that here, James.
At a certain point, when guys are so used to being successful, They got to find a new thing. But bigger than that, you have to have this drive in you that you can't fail.
Yes.
That nothing that
Nothing.
the minute you think you can fail is the minute you will. Just think about the typical NFL player. The statistics tell you that your parents have a better chance of winning the Powerball than for you to be able to make it to an NFL on an NFL roster. But you have basically lived your entire life from at least 14 years old, some older, trying to go after this dream. So coaches are even smaller. So like you can't base your life around just being average. Everything you do is about being enormous, being grandiose, being the best. And when you stop it, it kind of like something always leaves these people. To use my coach as an example, one of the reasons why he coached so long is that one of his mentors was idols was Bear Bryant. And when Bear Bryant stopped, he died like less than a year later. He was like, I'm going to coach or I'm going to die. That was literally the mentality. Like, and a lot of these guys, maybe not that drastic anymore, but it's like either I'm going to be excellent or you might as well torture me and kill me. And I like that. I joke about Urban Meyer. Here's the thing about him. He hates losing so much that it makes him sick. I got news flash for you, and I'm not a doctor. I'm my best friend is, but I'm not a doctor, but I am observant. Ain't nothing wrong with Urban Meyer, man. Ain't nothing been wrong with Urban Meyer.
Yep.
And his heart couldn't take losing in Gainesville, and he saw the mistakes that he made leading up to it. Ohio State,
it physically makes him ill. Like you hit the nail right on the head. It physically makes his body shut down to lose. That's how much this dude hates to lose. And people can say, well, that's not any way to live, and that's not. And I'm not going to argue with you. But you know what? I won't coach on my football team. That guy. Like, that's the dude that I won't coach on my football team.
There's
if he
a lot
wants
of
to kill
things
himself on the field, then damn, do it.
Like, think about movies. Think about stuff, or even people that we say, man, that guy is really good at their job. That guy might be a piece of work. Man, I don't want to be that. I couldn't be that guy. But if you needed like somebody, like perfect example, there's friends of mine that I grew up with that I don't necessarily want to be around. But if I was in the alley and I needed to fight somebody, them the first people I'm calling. I don't want your pastor. Actually, I don't want 90% of you listening to be with me there. Pastor. But it's some cats that I know. If I pick up the phone and call them, we're going to get dirty. And that's what I need in my coach.
Yep.
If nothing else, it makes sports media and the sports culture around Jacksonville that much more exciting because it's either going to be really, really good and the turnup's going to be dramatic, or it's going to flame out and it's going to be so awesome when it burns down. The one thing about watching Gainesville from the outside is it had to be hopping in Hogtown when they were winning the championships when Jesus' nephew was there. But I tell you what, it was awesome watching it go down, too. And for a guy who our job is to narrate it, what better way? And for our show, too, when I already see how people respond to Dave Caldwell, I know they're going to kiss the ring to Urban Meyer. So if Urban's not any good, I get to go at Urban Meyer.
But take that a step further. You're talking about our job, right, to critique. Like, put yourself in a fan situation here. As a fan, like, how can you tell me? How can you tell me that this guy's not going to succeed? What has he not succeeded at? Tell me one thing, and lose me with the moral compass. Like, I don't have any interest in that right now. I'm not going to disagree with you. Like, the guy, he recruited one recruiting class broke all 10 commandments. We'll concede that. But he's won at everything. You don't want that? Like, I can't even fathom it right now. I'm giddy with excitement over the possibility of a guy that turns the landscape on his head, James, not just of Jacksonville's football team, but of the NFL. That's going to be the major story. The next time your Jacksonville Jaguars take a football field, you could have Urban Meyer leading Trevor Lawrence out there, and you will have every NFL network. You'll have ESPN. You'll have every single person at your practice. It will be the story of all stories. That's what's ahead of you. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready. Urban, you level us up. You know what, Urban, you level the sports den up, dog. You get here, we step our game up. We have to. Like that's what I'm ready for right there. What does that look on your face?
Nah, I was just watching. I was reading the social media side of it. I gotta do some stuff on our end of it. But let's take a break right here, and let's just continue talking a little bit more about the Jags. Some of the more the Meyer effect, and if it doesn't happen to be him, what? Just I get it. What are some other choices? What are some other things that could come with it? This is the Sports Den, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Type in Sports Den at checkout. If you're not listening to us right now, there is something wrong with you. You need to go to Facebook Live Sports Den. You need to go to the YouTube channel, go to Periscope, whatever it is. We got goals in this new year. We're going to bring this product to you. It's so many different ways for you to check out. Appreciate the 102 different people who are listening and watching or viewing us through the social media channels. We'll be right back on the live.
It's not set to the frequency.
It's right here. Hello. No. Wrong frequency. What's the frequency, by the way?
10 XL. Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic is sharing more love during the Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru of Jacksonville has 0% financing on new Subarus, 90 days with no payments, big year-end savings. Plus, $500 donation with every new Subaru purchase, $250 from Subaru, and a match for $250 from Subaru of Jacksonville through January 4th. Experience the Subaru of Jacksonville difference. Dealer Rater's #1 Subaru dealer in the nation. Online at SubaruofJacksonville.com. Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru. See dealer website for full details.
Mark Brunell here. When I played football, I used a helmet for protection. Now I use a different helmet, Gutter Helmet. I never have to clean my gutters again. Gutter Helmet is family owned and operated and #1 in gutter protection. It fits over most existing gutters. They also install 6 and 7-inch seamless gutters with dozens of colors to choose from. Clogged gutters cause mold, pests, wood rot, and even damage to your home's foundation. Go to agenf.com, enter promo code 8 for special discounts.
Parents, want to know what it sounds like to have a pet fish in the house? Shh, just listen. Doesn't that sound just calm your mind? Ocean Reef Pets in Neptune Beach. Online at oceanreefpets.com.
Frank Frangie here for Big Chief Tire. When shopping for new tires or car service, you shouldn't have to sacrifice service for a good deal. That's why you should choose Big Chief Tire. At Big Chief Tire, they treat you like family. But don't just take it from us. You can count on their 4,000 Google reviews and a 4.75 average star rating across all Jacksonville locations. Rely on the team at Big Chief Tire for your tire, oil, brake, suspension, and alignment services. Schedule an appointment. Visit BigChiefService.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Timbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Ackerman Urology gives you the home field advantage. Don't trust your sexual health to the internet. Our local urologists treat prostate disease and sexual health issues to ensure your confidence and wellness. Don't ignore symptoms that hold you back. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
This is Hacker. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
With Highlight IPA, Cigar City Brewing introduced bold tropical character to Florida craft beer. Now it's bringing those same qualities to a full-flavored, lower-bodied beer with High-Low IPA. An ale that delivers vibrant hop qualities in a 4% alcohol, 120-calorie package. Whether you're aiming high or laying low, Cigar City Brewing's hop-forward creations add tropical dimension to any occasion. To find out more, visit cigarcitybrewing.com. Cigar City Brewing, Tampa, Florida. Please enjoy responsibly.
Happy New Year from Hidden Hills Golf Club. Our Hills Pass is the perfect golfing gift for the new year. Fun, safe, healthy, and unlimited golf for one low price. Visit hillspass.com today to purchase your 21 Hills Pass.
Regain your edge. The board-certified surgeons of OrthoEdge are practicing at St. Vincent's Riverside.
Hi, I'm Dr. Longnecker. If you have a sports injury or if you have knee, hip, or shoulder pain, let us at OrthoEdge help you regain your edge. We want you to get back to living life to your best. and we have patient-focused experience and technology to deliver the results. See one of our physicians today at Ortho Edge.
Now accepting new patients, visit orthoedge.com.
If you love what they put on the pizzas at Donato's, then you'll really love what they're taking off. Right now, get 20% off all your Donato's favorites when you order online and pick it up. Use promo code 20. Donato's is famous for their edge-to-edge toppings, so try more than one and do it at a discount. Order online and pick it up. Use promo code 20 for 20% off. Spell it out. Promo code 20 at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Big time, big time, big time. Something Rick Ross said was big time. I love this song right here. This is the Sports Den Big Time, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Type in Sports Den at checkout for 20% off. That's the go-to site for cigars. If you want to know how to get into this game, check out at BigGameJames_36 on Instagram. And I do the 12 days of sticks. Those 12 cigars are a great way to get introduced to this. My partner at Denny_Thompson is at home in his 6 Point Studios at his crib. At JJ LaSelva is the producer, always bringing us in. Urban Meyer is right now the hottest name when it's linked to Jaguars. My man Matt Ridenour, I guess that's how you say. I don't want to butcher your name. Just
I'm gonna go with Ridenour, but go ahead.
Ridenour, okay, that sounds good. He just tweeted, said apparently there was a private jet from Columbus, Ohio that just landed in Jacksonville. I'm not doing that plane thing. Last time I did that.
You got an eye doctor banned from Twitter.
Last time I did that, it was I'm still getting ridiculed.
Bob Stoops did not end up showing up.
It's two things that I get ridiculed more for. Alabama fans who are still bitter about me telling them not to take this ass whooping personally, and FSU or random Abby Twitter that's mad because their life stinks and that the coach that I predicted to come didn't come. So,
by the way, speaking of Notre Dame, or I mean not Notre Dame, but you writing for your website, how did the new Notre Dame story go down? Denny, have you heard about this? There's a new writer.
He wrote it. He did a good job.
Remember our boy on the text line.
I submitted it, and it did not get published in time.
No!
Thank God. Thank God.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Okay,
by the way,
that
happy New Year, by the way, guys.
Happy New Year. Remember that kid that texted in and was like, hey, I want to write a story about Notre Dame or whatever.
James put him to work?
Yeah. He wrote I put him up to it. I was the one who put him up to write the article about how Notre Dame can beat Alabama, but it did not go to print.
Gosh.
It didn't go to print, so he's good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. It was a well-written article. I apologize. I'm going to get him in the fold. I don't know if subconsciously, because I was going to put I wasn't even going to give him the heat. I would have gave him the credit if it would have happened. But I was going to take the heat. I was going to fall on the sword, but I don't know if God knew I had enough going on. And he was like, James, we don't need you pulling an Urban Meyer with your heart hurting. And your head hurting. So, because boy, was that, Jesus. That was not funny because that ass whooping that they got.
I don't know, and we'll get into those playoff games in a little bit, but I don't know what the social media side of things is, but I was looking at the text line during our last segment. I don't understand. Like, there's people giving me all of these reasons why they don't want Urban Meyer. And it's things like, I'm going to try to find one here. Things about how he let Burrow go. Like he was the one that let Burrow go. Or the only championship he won in Columbia was when Zeke went over 200 yards 3 straight games. With quarterback Urban wasn't even starting. Wasn't that the year that Urban had to start 3 different quarterbacks?
Yes.
He won a national title with Cardale.
Right, with 12 gauge, with a porn name. I don't understand.
Which, by the way, is amazing.
Yes, I mean, everywhere the guy has gone, he has won. If you don't like Urban, you don't like Urban. I get it. I understand it. I understand he hurts you.
Can I break down what you just said? People have said the only reason he won is because the guys that he recruited and put in his system in positions to succeed won the game for him.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? Like, the only reason the coach won is because the coach coached a good game for his guys to play well. Like,
KJ, can you do us a favor? Because I'm using my computer for something. Can you look up Urban Meyer's year-by-year records? Because the thing that I can't, I want to make sure I'm like really transparent about. This guy hasn't done this just once, James. This guy it's not like this guy just happened to catch on and hit, Utah at the right time, or hit Florida at the right time, or hit and y'all keep talking about, well, he's not a long-term solution. Y'all,
what's the NFL?
We just went 1-15, dog.
The NFL stands for not for long. Long-term solution, Doug Marrone been here damn near as long as I've been in Jacksonville.
Exactly.
And Jacksonville is stunk. The long-term solution is this. You average 5 wins a game over the last 10 years. Stop worrying about 10 years from now. Let's worry about tomorrow. To quote my favorite rapper, Sean Corey Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, bump tomorrow as long as the night before was sweet. That's what I'm looking for right now. Give me 17 and let me live in the moment. Because what I realized from 17 is that it's more likely that I better enjoy 17, because it's more likely 16 and 18 are going to be in my near future until you give me some consistency.
You ready for this record? This is absurd. This is just Ohio State. 83-9. 12-0, 12-2, 14-1, 12-1, 11-2, 12-2, 10-1.
And there's somebody on 30 losses in between
his
career. Like, what are you?
187-32.
And you people are talking about his performance. Like, what? How? How is that even possible? Like, wow.
Tennessee is only won the division because Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards.
It's amazing to me.
Does that make any sense? I
know. I know.
Jeff Bezos is only a billionaire because people bought his product.
Right.
We're only on radio because somebody gave us a show.
Right.
You're only listening because Al Gore invented the internet. You're only here because your mom and dad, however many years ago, decided to get together and make something happen. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
If the guy has consistently won everywhere he went somewhere, he hurt your feelings because he didn't win the way you wanted him to win there. And so now you're going to start trying to sell me all these other guys who haven't won at his level.
Man,
I don't even care.
My dog Nate Monroe is. You know how geek the dude from the Times Union. He ain't got to just get on Curry. You know how many goons going to come through here?
That's true.
You know how lit the Times Union going to be? The crime report? I'm going to interview for that job. Give me the job to look at the police report, because I know it's going to be full of Jaguar players for a little bit.
No,
you know
ain't.
what's going to happen?
No, it ain't. No, you know it's not.
They're going to turn a blind eye?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Urban been there before.
Herb's going to be like, hey, man, listen, this is what we do.
I run the police now.
This is what it's going to be.
It ain't 12 mil. It's like
I'm
the sheriff now.
The rookie symposium isn't in Las Vegas anymore. Each team has to individually do it. So part of the rookie symposium is going to be Urban say, listen, this is how we do. Here's the list of crimes that you can commit and not go to jail for. But here's the fines. This is what
murder is the highest fine.
Yeah, listen, we can get you some time. Like, we can get through the season, but you're going to have to pay $1 million. You're gonna have to pay that officer $1 million. Like, he's got to pay off all the people. This is what we've negotiated with JSO for you to be able to go home. Now, they might come back and get you later on, but at least you'll be able to finish the season and get your checks. By
the time they ever find out about it, we're gonna have lot JKLMNOP already open. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, y'all want to expand. You want to win football games. You want to yell Duval. You want 2017. Like, this is your best chance. Am I saying he's going to do it? No. But what I am saying is there's no reason for me to think he's not, because he's never not done it before. Does that make sense? Like, if the people telling me, well, he hasn't done it at the NFL level. The guy has literally won at every single level. How in the world can you tell me he's not going to win at the NFL? I have a
coach
better argument that
which
he
coach
will.
available that we want has done it. Eric
None.
Bieniemy hasn't done it. Dabble
No.
hasn't done it. Greg Roman hasn't done it. Now Marvin Lewis hasn't done it well. I'm trying to think. Jim Harbaugh stinks.
There's nobody available. There is nobody available that has won at the level that Urban Meyer has won at in everything, not just football. Y'all, the guy is a best-selling
You know
author.
what?
He is
I know what we
phenomenal speaker. He is like everything he touches turns to gold.
Bump that. Why get an exciting coach when we can go get Dan Mullen? Let's just bring Daniel here, and he's gonna
I'm not gonna let you troll.
He's gonna challenge my guy to thumb wrestling. A thumb wrestling tournament. He's gonna do something.
He's gonna wear like a goofy outfit to the press.
He's gonna have his Darth Vader. I mean, come on, man. Like honest to God's truth. Like at a certain point, like I get it. Everybody got to be skeptical. I'm not mad at it. You know, we live in a world where people, have to be contrarians. But when you at least like what I like to do, if we're gonna engage in debate, right? Give me who your favorite person is. Don't tell me why this person. Don't just tell me why this person won't work. Tell me why this person. Tell me what their weaknesses are, and tell me who you have to present that's better. Forget about the money.
So somebody did.
They did.
Somebody said, how about Bill Cowher, Jimmy Johnson, or Tony Dungy?
They haven't done it in years. Oh my God!
But
forget
that's
that.
fair.
We've seen this model right now, though. Pay an old ass coach that hasn't done anything for a decade, $10 million a year, and you got Vegas where he's already firing people. That doesn't really work. It's a different league.
I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort of that.
And
I think Jimmy Johnson is a cool
coach. Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah,
You're talking about
guy,
you're talking about Leon Searcy's Jimmy Johnson, or the race car driver?
That is the closest thing though that I can think of. What could happen? Like the Jimmy Johnson that went from from college to the NFL. Like, can you not see Urban Meyer becoming that same thing?
And Jimmy was successful. He built with you. You know what? If you're going to say Jimmy, because Jimmy Johnson is so far removed from what he was able to do.
Even Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR driver, is retired.
Okay. So you're talking about Jimmy Johnson that's selling male enhancement. That was selling male enhancement products
on his boat. Correct. Levitre, I believe.
Yeah, I don't want that. But I'm going to tell you what. I do want a younger version of him, a guy who went to the U and managed a bunch of during the Coke era. When it was flying, like what we loved that era, managed personalities won that multiple national championship. Went to Dallas with the crackhead, made him a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Made a slower than optimal running back, one of the greatest running back of all time, and a quarterback who excelled. Yes. Let's get that guy. Who is the closest person to that guy? A guy who managed nothing but criminals in Gainesville and Ohio State. Let's go get that guy, but not the old guy who's selling male enhancement, whose thing don't work. Imagine your granddad coming to you right now and saying, let's go, young whippersnapper, go into the backyard, let's play some damn football. It ain't going to work, dog, no matter who your granddad was. He's a legend. He's good doing the analysis. But let's keep it at that. Brian Cowher is good at that. Like that mentality and that is not going to work. That won't work.
Yeah. We're lockstep on this, James. I'm with you on this, bro. Like,
and this is coming from a no. Who's supposed to hate? Who he beat my last game against UF? He beat me. I don't like Urban from that standpoint, but damn it, give me a winner because it's gonna make it more exciting.
Think about this.
Extends. My bad.
Think about this. Think about
the
situations we just went through.
Trying to be factually correct.
Like Stens cats.
We're not fake news.
Extendo clip on your Johnson.
You're Jimmy Johnson.
Anyway, think about the stuff we just went through. And by the way, we got to get to this Doug Marrone Shad Khan phone call because I am obsessed with this. But think about the stuff we just went through with Yannick Ngakoue and with Jalen Ramsey and those guys if Urban was here. Think about how much differently that one, we would have never heard about it ever. You're never going to hear about anything, by the way, with Urban here. But the other thing is those guys would still be here. I believe that without a shadow of a doubt. Urban's going to manage those personalities. That's his deal. Like, that's how he's been so good. Is think about what James just said. The personalities he managed at Florida alone, not even getting into Ohio State. I mean, if you've listened to the Zach Smith podcast, that wasn't a cakewalk.
Listening to Zach Smith isn't a cakewalk. Like
You have a call at no expense to you from
Zachary Smith.
This is a guy who stalks Urban through his tweets. Urban doesn't even talk to this guy, and he has a man crush on him.
Yeah, and Urban fired him. I mean,
he got a
just
coach.
Be great,
he got a
Jacksonville.
coach that
Just
got
great.
beat up. It managed to win the national championship that year. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was because Percy hit Billy G with a 3-piece. Probably had, who knows what the coaching, other things happened in his coaching staff.
I mean, think about the Pouncies.
Dude, you got Chico alone is enough. Is enough for me. Get me a tight end like that for the Jaguars that's running around here, gang banging during the week, but scoring touchdowns on Sunday. All is forgiven. Penance. It's like going to church.
All we're trying to say, people, is let this happen. Let this be great. Don't worry about Shad Khan's money. Shad Khan's not worried about your money. I promise you.
He's not. That's why he wants Lot J.
Shad Khan.
He actually is worried about our money.
He
wants to take it.
He wants to take your money to build Lot J. Well, damn it, let him spend his money to help Lot J work.
Hey, Shad Khan's not sitting over there going, wait, you're about to pay $20,000 for that car? It's only worth $18,000. Like, he ain't worried about you. Like, stop worrying about him. He's got plenty. He knows what he's doing. If he says Urban Meyer is worth $15 million, he's going to make $50 million off of Herbs. Okay, it's the American way.
And with the salary cap in the NFL, paying a lot for a head coach is really one of the only advantages you can have as a really rich owner.
Very true. Like, that's so true. I love it. We're flexing on them. Shad, you do your thing, dog. Like, if you need us to come down there and help close the deal, man, let me get over this coronavirus thing. I don't need to be passing this stuff around. I'm down there.
Yeah, you definitely don't, because
y'all worried about Shad Khan.
Just in case he
James, think about
really
this.
was sick and he has the pre-existing stuff, I don't need to kill a coach.
Hey, think about this. Think about this, though. Y'all worried about Shad Khan spending $12 million. Y'all understand how much it takes to fill up that yacht?
First and foremost, he just sold the yacht, so he got a couple extra bucks, but he's trying to get an upgrade.
He's buying a bigger one.
He's buying, yeah. So
it's probably 7 figures to put gas in the yacht, and y'all worried about him burning money on Herbs, man. Y'all worried about your own business. We got to get to Trevor, by the way. We got to get to Doug Marrone, too. Like, which one do we want to hit first?
Let's take a break, and we're going to get to Douglas.
I cannot believe this conversation.
Do we want to talk about Trevor and let Douglas be our hate o'clock?
Douglas is the hate o'clock.
Let's talk about Sunshine and Coulter. Maybe and if we get into it, some of these the playoff games and things like that. We'll talk about that on the other side. This is the Sports Den, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Type in sportsden at checkout when you buy your cigars.
We're connected by a common bond.
We're all lemons. We look like everybody else, but what makes us different is our defect.
We're obsessed with sports.
You're absolutely right.
1010XL.
It don't get no better than this.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. You know, I always get great service from McGowan's AC because they hire good people, pay them well, and treat them right. That's why McGowan's is growing and hiring now. You know, the HVAC is a lucrative career, especially here in Florida. So if you're a go-getter with a positive attitude and ready to get working, there's no experience necessary. McGowan's offers full training and will pay you to learn a skill that will last a lifetime. Join their winning team. Call 264-COOL or apply online at McGowan'sAC.com.
Now that friends and family have gone home, it's time to invite Zero Res over for a good cleaning. Hicken here. Zero Res can clean your carpets, towels, sofas, area rugs, and more. My wife just loves it when we have the Zero Res team come to our home. Remember, Zero Res uses no soaps or detergent, so there's no sticky residue left behind. Give Zero Res a call today. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129. Mention 1010XL and get 20% off the tile and grout cleaning. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
So you didn't get the perfect present last month. Well, it's not too late. Mystic Cornhole Company is open and still builds custom high-quality cornhole boards right here in Jax. Visit their shop on Phillips Highway and see their designs at mysticcornholecompany.com.
So you're working on your car and truck, need a part, and someone who can advise you on how to install it. Come to Rusty Acres. They have the expertise and largest inventory of used Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury parts. Rusty Acres, 786-1777.
Instant Keys offers honest professional locksmith service for lost or broken keys and keyless entry remotes. Call Instant Keys at 722-1111. Get dealership level service in just minutes at a fraction of the cost. 722-1111.
No one outfits golfers better than Edwin Watts Golf Shops. We've been fitting golfers since 1968. Utilizing cutting-edge fitting technology, we'll analyze your swing and our Foresight launch monitors and fit you with the perfect club, pair of shoes, the latest golf apparel, golf balls, bags, and more. So come by today for your complete custom fitting. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Business owners and CEOs, apply now for the Jacksonville Small Business Executive Program, designed to help you think differently and become more efficient running your business. This program is presented by the Jim Moran Institute for Global Entrepreneurship in Florida State University's College of Business. Offered at no cost. You'll meet once a month beginning mid-February. Apply before January 29th at jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu. jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 4th, 1986, NBA Hall of Famer David Robinson set an insane NCAA record, blocking 14 shots against UNC Wilmington.
Looking to be your own boss in a proven business model like construction and working outdoors? Superior Fence and Rail is franchising in new markets all over the Southeast, from Birmingham to Savannah, and even a few more markets in Florida. Come win with us and redefine the fence industry. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail to learn more about starting a fence franchise today.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic is sharing more love during the Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru of Jacksonville has 0% financing on new Subarus, 90 days with no payments, big year-end savings. Plus, $500 donation with every new Subaru purchase, $250 from Subaru, and a match for $250 from Subaru of Jacksonville through January 4th. Experience the Subaru of Jacksonville difference. Dealer Rater's #1 Subaru dealer in the nation. Online at SubaruofJacksonville.com. Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru. See dealer website for full details.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The Sports Den brought to you by humidor.com. Type in Sports Den. JJ just told the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits story.
Yes.
This is, you picked the wrong song. You should have picked Biggie's I Got a Story to Tell.
Well, I didn't realize it was going to go into the actual show. But
I mean, I don't have
no,
to
it's
go,
fine.
No.
It was going to be my 8 o'clock, but we already going to have a 8 o'clock.
Well, no, we can talk about, you can talk about it, save it for that. I think that would be good. We can get some of that in there. But if somebody got murdered in our neighborhood, what would we normally, what would be your reaction?
Murdered?
Yeah, like if Aaron Hernandez was playing for the Jaguars and
right.
Urban Meyer was the head coach, things like this happen. But like, what would your response be?
I mean, I'd be concerned. Like,
certainly,
right?
Right.
I mean,
I'm
concerned.
not mad at how my man felt. What almost made me choke.
Are you suggesting
that JJ said, this happens like once every few months, man.
It's
like
not
I don't even it's not even that big a deal.
When you live with other thousands of people in your complex. It happens. But we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. That's the tease.
Okay.
We'll get that. Trevor
I
Lawrence.
didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, that's
just saying.
That's good to know.
Please don't admit to it right now.
Yeah, this I don't know how the law works, but that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, what do you want? Let's get off your chest, man.
No, there's nothing to get off my chest. It's it's like Justin Fields is a baller. There's a reason Justin Fields was a 5-star guy. There's a reason that Justin Fields has had the career that he's had. There's a reason why Georgia fans are, constantly questioning the handling of Justin Fields at Georgia. Like the kid is a baller. He's a great quarterback. He's going to be a great NFL football player. He's like going to do all these great things, and he played really well the other night against a team that they were better than. Ohio State is a better football team than the Clemson football team. Just about like shockingly better at every position, especially up front, which is what surprised me. What did Trevor Lawrence do the other night that made either one of you guys think that he's not the answer, though?
Nothing.
Were people saying this, Justin Fields thing, because of the way Justin performed, or because of the way Trevor performed? Because that's my confusion is, what did Justin do that y'all didn't expect? Did all of you think that Justin was a bad football player?
No.
And if you did, that's silly.
I didn't think he was that good.
Really? You didn't? You haven't watched
I don't watch
Justin
Ohio
before?
State like that. And so I've only really seen him in the playoff games, and then I saw him in the last few games when I thought the Jaguars were going to have to draft him. And I was like, I don't really know what this guy is all hyped
and those weren't his best games.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Those I mean, whatchamacallit was bargaining. When Hack was saying that he thought he was
exactly
when
Hack
Fields
was a Justin
bad.
Fields fan.
Like,
yes.
I don't understand why everybody's getting on this Justin Fields fella.
I mean, Justin's a good. There's a reason why the guy was considered one of the best high school quarterbacks to come out in a long, long time. There's a reason why he was a Heisman. I think he was the Heisman odds-on favorite before the season started, before all this COVID stuff started. There, all those things are true, and all those things are a reason he's going to have a good career. Trevor's just different, and Trevor's done this for so long. Y'all realize when you're watching Trevor Lawrence, you saw him beating angles, you saw him do that again against Ohio State the other night. That kid is 6'6", 240. Do y'all know that? Mm-hmm. Do y'all realize that? That is not a small man. He stood back there and got tattooed. Right. He lost his 4th or 5th game in the history of his football career.
Right. I heard some of the dumbest analysis. I'm glad Jimmy Smith called Maurice Jones-Drew out for it. But he wasn't.
Yeah, that was.
Maurice. We judge a court, and I've heard other people make this same dumbass, analysis as well. Well, now we finally saw what he looks like. He looks really bad when pressure's on him. He doesn't have a clean pocket, and he doesn't have time to step into his throws. And that's, I was like, if that's the way, the measuring stick of a good quarterback, then you should only draft guys that stink. But the only quarterback who was on a terrible team that's doing well, I think in the history, or at least short term, is Josh Allen. And nobody thought that was going to work. But Trevor Lawrence was good. But I will say this. I made this statement. And a bunch of people who believe they know football but do not stand on anything, which I always tell people, it's easy to have an opinion behind your Twitter profile. But just stand on it. It's cool. Put yourself out there, really consistently do it. But, I understand you don't know. I said this is the first time that we've seen Trevor look normal. And I didn't mean that in a bad way. It happens.
Fair.
People, he was sloppy with the ball. Not necessarily with the interceptions.
He was pressing. He was pressing.
It was fumble. He was bad ball placement. And he literally had just fumbled the ball after I said it. And it wasn't just because he fumbled. It was a careless fumble. And I wasn't saying don't go draft the guy. I was just saying literally wow, he is normal, which is okay. And even in a normal game, he still threw for 400 yards. So his team still had a chance.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize he had threw for 400 yards.
Yeah.
I'm looking that up now. That's crazy. I didn't realize. No, he pressed. I mean, he did. He pressed a little bit, and he felt like I've got to make the plays, and he did. He had to make the plays. I mean, even early in the game, he made a couple of dime throws that just I don't think anybody else can make. I mean, he had guys draped off of him. He's throwing off his back foot because he's getting pressure. Ohio State did a fantastic job schematically against them. There was nothing that made me say, boy, the Jags really need to think about taking Justin Fields. But that also doesn't
is that Justin Fields was just disrespected. Like Justin, like you were saying,
Yeah.
Justin Fields
Yeah.
is a damn good football player. The problem with media, social media, or whatever it is, people's discussions, is that intelligent debate and dialogue has been eliminated. You can disagree, or you can make a choice without having to destroy or demolish or degrade the other choices. You can just say, it's okay to just say I like Trevor Lawrence better, and for these reasons, without having to pick apart the other person. There's really not much to pick apart. I like Trevor Lawrence because boom, 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 boom. Justin Fields has these qualities, and you can leave it at that. But for whatever reason, to qualify your statement, you feel the need to go almost not even necessarily bring up the negatives, to almost get borderline disrespectful with your analysis because you don't have confidence in what you actually bring to the table as far as critiques. You're regurgitating what other people say. That's the problem.
It's a body of work too, right? I mean, it's a body of work of, and this goes for both of them. Like the body of work for Justin Fields was more than the Indiana game, or was more than whatever the games, right before the
Northwestern.
Northwestern. Like his body of work shows that he is a heck of a quarterback and a heck of a player. I've seen him in person several times, and he's legit. He's the real deal. And I saw that the first time I saw him. Trevor Lawrence's body of work tells you that he's even different than that. And that's the thing that I want people to understand is you go back and you watch Trevor as a freshman and watch the way he navigated through that national championship game. And you go back and you watch the way the ball pops out of Trevor's hands. And you go back and you watch the times that Trevor is outrunning 10 defenders who are going to play in the NFL on his way to a 60-yard touchdown. Or when he catches a corner on a defensive end, James, that's going to be a first-round draft pick. Like, those are things that you, as an evaluator of talent, you have to pay attention to.
Right.
Like those are the things that when you're watching a guy who's 6'5", 6'6", 240, and he just beat the edge on a guy who's probably going to run, a 1.75 split in the 10?
Easy.
Right? You've got to pay attention to that, and you've got to recognize, that cat's special, man. That's not even what he's good at. That's not even his strength. But he's still doing that, and it's effortless. And he's throwing off his back foot 60, 65 yards. And yes, Justin can do that too, but it's like the body of work tells you Trevor does this almost every single game. And on top of that, I'm going to keep pounding the table on what you said a couple weeks ago. He's done it with the expectation of him having to do it. Mm-hmm. He hasn't surprised anybody doing it. He's exceeded everybody's expectations. That's who you want. And now just the very thought, just the very possibility of pairing a guy who has met every single expectation and exceeded that and has proven that he wins at every level with a coach who's done the exact same thing and does it with this flair and with this bravado of, hey, come after me. I don't care. That's cool. You can come after me. We're still going to beat the crap out of you. That very possibility is it's almost overwhelming me right now with excitement.
But here's
it's almost changed my life heading into 2021.
Here's the real reason why. And even when I said he looked average, it had nothing to do with Trevor. Maybe it was more to do with Dabo, more of a knock against Dabo than it was against Trevor, because here's the reality. We talk about Eric Bieniemy on the NFL level, but not enough gets talked about Jeff Scott. Not Jeff Scott, excuse me, my bad.
Tony Elliott.
Tony Elliott. So Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott for the last few years have been the one-two punch. Really, most people would say Tony Elliott is the guy who called the plays. Jeff Scott was the amazing recruiter. Tony Elliott was not able to be there because he caught COVID. So what you saw, now you have guys who have no real experience in that position. The guys calling plays had the same amount of experience in a big game at calling plays as you did, as you or I, any of us. So you saw, I made the joke on Twitter that went viral. I said, for the first time in his life, Dabo Swinney sees that Black lives do matter because Tony Elliott's not there. and he can't, so he's going to be marching next year for it if he doesn't leave. But I mean, that's the main thing. Anybody would be shook up if a major cog in the wheel that makes you successful was not there. It is not an indictment. Trevor Lawrence is still
But when
the
you
number
say
one
he's
overall
average, when you say he
his
looked average,
his average for him, looked average
right? That
according to him, not average
Right.
compared to like everybody else. It's literally like you just said. You got to listen to everything that I've ever said about Trevor Lawrence.
But
Lawrence
hold on that thought for a second, James, because think about this, and then I'm gonna let you go with this, but I want you to think about this. We just got done watching Kyle Trask have a bad game.
Right.
Okay. We just got done watching Trevor Lawrence, by his standards, have a bad game. Think about the difference.
It's a big difference, and that's why he is in an echelon all by himself. And that's how, and that's why you have to respect, and that's why you have to be able to say like he's done nothing to degrade it unless you're just trolling his status as the number one overall pick, which he has been since he took his first snap in college. And you can only judge him based upon what you've seen him do in that moment. What we've seen him do in that moment is rise to the occasion more times than not.
Time and time.
His freshman year, he won a national championship. His sophomore year, he in that moment against Justin Fields, he performed at a much higher level. And so much so that he beat Justin in the head-to-head, who also, Justin had a great game, minus the miscommunication at the end of it, which lost him the game. Which you can, if you know football and you watch it, you can clearly see they weren't on the same page. And if they were on the same page, they were going to do. But the bigger thing in all of this is that, and I know this is going to probably get an email, and this is not trying to make it paint anything. You can go look at, even my I-9 football team looks like an FBS roster now. 70% of my roster on I-9 is African-American. The defense of Clemson is the most arrogant thing I've ever seen in my life. They've made it work. But have you ever... JJ, because somebody
I've been saying this all year. Been saying it all year.
Have you ever seen a whiter secondary in since desegregation with NCAA that's had success that they've had? I mean, it's props. It's like their front seven is amazing, but like at some point, somebody was going to have to exploit the safety with two left feet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this whole thing is just interesting, man, because we're sitting here doing the show and we're talking about, and I'm reading texts and I'm reading all this stuff of people explaining why Trevor, is overhyped or he's not going to be, and same with Urban Meyer. And it's like, I think we're just in this trap, man, where it's like we expect people to be a bust. We expect people to be different than what they are. And that's fair. Like, we're talking about the highest level of professionalism when it comes to football. You're talking about the best of the best. Yes, it is a big jump. But how do you evaluate somebody off of anything other than what they are? You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to evaluate what the future is going to hold without looking at the past? Like, that's the only thing you can do. And if you're doing that, then you have to look at Trevor Lawrence and you have to go, this dude's the real freaking deal, and he checks every single box. Okay. Now, if he's a bust, he's a bust.
Okay, you can be negative, and I get it. Not you, just saying you can choose to be negative, but you have the number one overall pick. If it's not Trevor, then who would you pick? And again, it comes down to our same argument with Urban. Let's take this 20. Let's leave this in 2020. Leave the beta crap alone, man. Like, let's stop arguing with each other just to argue. We can have debates and we can have discussions, but let's just stop doing that because that's very, very, very soft. I'm not, and I said beta.
It's a bad look.
I said
it's
beta.
A bad look,
I don't want to say it's feminine because there are women who don't do that. So what I'm saying,
no, it's just a bad look. It's hater. You're being a hater.
That's it. Don't be a hater all your life. I get it. If you don't like him, if you think you could say, hey, he's overrated, but he's the best number one overall. That's better than just saying, hey, I wouldn't take him. Who else would you take?
Trey Lance.
You know what? I respect that more. I respect that more than anything else. But it's only one time a day. I call it the golden time of day, where being a hater is okay. Because sometimes you got to get it out of your system. Hate o'clock on the other side.
Take Jacksonville with you.
There's no place like home.
Listen to 1010XL away from home.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices.
Bowl 24 keeping it real with Damian Lillard. When you have no competition, it's obvious. Just like the Bolt 24 lineup with no artificial flavors or sweeteners, there is no competition.
Head to 7-Eleven and grab a Bolt 24 from the makers of Gatorade.
Bolt 24.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Regain your edge. The board-certified surgeons of OrthoEdge are practicing at St. Vincent's Riverside.
Hi, I'm Dr. Longnecker. If you have a sports injury or if you have knee, hip, or shoulder pain, let us at OrthoEdge help you regain your edge. We want you to get back to living life to your best. And we have patient-focused experience and technology to deliver the results. See one of our physicians today at OrthoEdge.
Now accepting new patients, visit orthoedge.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Spicklemeyer Insurance Agency. John Spicklemeyer knows about protection, is the best offensive lineman to ever come out of Jacksonville. He's always taken that O-line pride in his protection, from being the city's player of the year at Bowls to playing for Notre Dame. John has always gotten the job done for those who depend on him, and he'll do that for you, like he has me. John Spicklemeyer is my agent. Call John today at 471-7155 for all your insurance needs. That's Spicklemeyer Insurance Agency, protecting what's most important to you. Call John today at 471-7155.
Frank Frangie here for Big Chief Tire. Your family's safety is important to the experts at Big Chief Tire. Don't let your vehicle's needs become out of sight and out of mind. Big Chief Tire's trusted team of experienced technicians will provide a free estimate after a vehicle inspection, so you can get back on the road and drive with confidence at a price that suits your budget. Verify your vehicle's safety before you get behind the wheel. Visit any of their 4 convenient Jacksonville locations or schedule an appointment by visiting BigChiefService.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Buying or selling surfboards, guitars, amps, or musical instruments or equipment? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn wants to either buy them from you or sell you what you need. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Parents, want to know what it sounds like to have a pet fish in the house? Shh, just listen. Doesn't that sound just calm your mind? Ocean Reef Pets in Neptune Beach. Online at oceanreefpets.com. Ackerman Urology gives you the home field advantage. Don't trust your sexual health to the internet. Our local urologists treat prostate disease and sexual health issues to ensure your confidence and wellness. Don't ignore symptoms that hold you back. Visit ackermanurology.com.
The 2021 Hills Pass from Hidden Hills Golf Club is on sale now. Unlimited golf in 2021 for one low price. Visit hillspass.com today to purchase yours or call us at 620-0910.
I want my Woody's barbecue. High Flying Jacko here. Do you know that all pilots love Woody's barbecue? That's right. They actually fly here so they can go to Woody's, they do a big takeout, and they fly out. The nerve of those guys. High Flying Jacko here, and I'll meet you at the Virus headquarters today.
This is Woody Mills inviting you to Woody's Barbecue today. Come see us.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
You mad, bro?
1010XL 92.5 FM. Join us in the sports den. Call or text 641-1010.
Open up your heart and let that hang out.
Gotta let it breathe. Let it breathe. This is the Sports Den, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Type in Sports Den at checkout for 20% off. That right there is the intro to the world famous 8 o'clock, where we allow you, or we talk about the things that have been on our chest that we just have to let out so that we can be sane and rational people in the world. Denny, you got something that's been really steaming you and bothering you. So let's talk about it.
It's not steaming me. It's like hysterical to me. I don't know why this got me so like happy last night, but So I'm sitting around after the game and looking on Twitter, and I see this comment from the press conference about Doug Marrone talking about how he had heard the Urban Meyer rumors and called Shad Saturday night. And do y'all understand the stones you have to lose 14 games, and at that time, now 15? But just think about this. You're sitting in a hotel room or at home or wherever you're at. I don't know where he's at the day before. And you've lost 14 games in a row. And you get a text or something like that from, I forget who it was. Was it in Rappaport? Whoever it was, saying, hey, I'm going to report this. And you think it's a good idea to call your multi-billionaire boss who has been paying you to lose 14 games in a row and ask about a rumor about your job? Like, what in what world is that even a thing? Like, how does that conversation go, James? How did that one Shad answered?
This shows Shad's a nice person.
Would you have answered?
I would have answered.
So Shad answered.
Dummy, like you idiot.
What the hell do you think I'm doing? Yes, I'm firing you.
Yes, I'm firing you. And yes, I'm hiring him. But you're messing everything up.
I have not interviewed the black guy yet. Okay, you can't be out here with this.
Don't you know
There's a
what
thing
the
called a Rooney Rule?
You sat here when we lied about doing a hiring process for you.
Yes, Douglas.
You know how this works, Doug.
Doug, why are you doing this?
Coach Trubisky in for a chat, and then we tell him to pack his bags.
I mean, the fact that Doug called, like, how do you do that?
The call was bad. The call was bad and ballsy. But to tell people that, now you backed them into a corner. Now, like, so I didn't know this happened. And Chris Porter, First Coast News, when me and him and T-Wig did our thing, he said that. He's like, well, Doug said, and it's just, so what? You never let him see the hit coming. Mikey Corleone told everybody that everything was cool in The Godfather, and then he killed everybody.
Yeah, and Goodfellas, Joe Pesci thinks he's about to be made. Walks into an empty room, gets it right in the back of the head.
That's how it works, man. That's gangland style, baby.
But I mean, that's what you're going from, though. And I'm being serious here. You're going from, and I'm not making fun of Doug Marrone. Y'all, we don't need to talk about how good of a guy Doug Marrone is.
I'm tired of it.
Nobody needs to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that anymore as a city. Like, fine, he got paid, okay? He did his job. He did a job. He didn't do his job, or he'd still have his job.
We'll be paid
next year. He got paid handsomely. Right. So we don't need to talk about that. But here's the difference, is you've got a guy who called his owner off of a rumor that he was going to be fired after he just rattled off 14 L's in a row. And we're talking about replacing him with a guy who would never make that phone call.
No.
Never make that phone call.
It's like,
he would have lied about being sick weeks before that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We would have had like all kind of reports of a damn heart attack last night.
Doug Marrone would have lasted a day in Cobra Kai. Like, that's not Cobra Kai. That's not how they do it.
I mean, when y'all heard that, did y'all think the same thing, JJ? When you heard that, when you heard that he called,
I didn't even hear it until you just said it. Honestly,
imagine being so bad at your job, like all three of us. Let's just imagine for a second being so bad at our job that we were shocked that we kept it last year, and then we continue to just stink at it to where it's every single time we do our job, we are failing.
We have to apologize once a week, every week after we do our job.
We have to say it's our fault every single time. Yeah. And then imagine all of a sudden us hearing a rumor that, oh gosh, they interviewed somebody else and calling. Being like, I mean, are you really interviewing somebody else?
Steve, this can't be true.
Like, imagine.
I worked for a billionaire one time. That's a true story. So I used to work in the investment world, and I worked for a billionaire one time for a couple of years. I cannot tell you a situation or a scenario to where I would have ever called him with good news, much less to ask him if he was going to fire me. Like, that's silly.
I've worked for 1,000 there.
Same thing.
I never thought of a scenario. Most normal people, anyway, most people know when it's coming, and that's why you put your 2-week notice in. You're looking for another job. Like, he had to have
Doug's had his
known,
notice
man.
in forever. Yeah.
For years.
Doug, why would you even? You could have just been like, that's none of my worries. My job is to coach games, and I'm going to be here until I'm not. That's all.
Well, I don't know if you have that sound. Do you have the sound, JJ, last night from the press conference of when he was talking about whatever reporter it was, how he gave him a heads up?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, because have you heard this, James?
No, I haven't.
Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear. This is the part that just got me like completely tickled last night to the point to where,
it's the same thing. I'll tell you, I give a lot of credit, and I want to make sure I say this to, and I don't really ever go outside. Ian Rappaport wound up texting me the other day before he broke the story with his sources, and I'll tell you what, I have a great amount of respect for that. I really do. In other words, he was able to get that to me so I can prep my family, my children, so they don't have to hear it from their friends or anything like that.
They knew.
And I think
that
that's something I'll always appreciate.
Wait, Dad, you know how I knew he knew? It's the same, again, going back to The Godfather, where he was talking to the guy, when he got the hit, in front of my family, my kids, my wife. Like, when he did that, like, he knew that the guy he was talking to knew then that Mike knows that I called the hit. Like, Doug when he said,
I got worse
kids.
News for you.
He wanted to tear up. I heard it in the little eye passage. Like, that one little tear duct got right there. And I ain't even mad at him because, his kid is of high school age. And high school kids are mean.
James, I got bad news for you. They knew.
Facts.
He didn't need Ian Rappaport to call. Like, everybody knew, Doug. Everybody knew.
You don't talk about your kids now. You know what? You're using your kids as a scapegoat. And here's why I say that. What do you think your son was going through when you was losing 14 games straight? You think his friends would be like, Hap, that's okay. You guys keep trying. They knew his dad.
They're really playing hard for your dad out there.
Like, he going out
his
there.
Son, hey, I will say this, though. His son is a baller.
Right. I'm saying, so I'm saying, if you worried about...
He knows good football. He knows crappy football.
It's not a knock on him, and I don't want to go there, but I'm like, don't bring your family into it when you've been losing for a long time, bro.
No, that's the point. Like, Doug Marrone brought that's kind of like, that was my overwhelming thing when I heard that last night. I'm like, okay, so Ian Rappaport called you because he heard that Urban Meyer was being interviewed for the job. Like, okay, fine. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was in Rappaport. I don't have a relationship with coaches like that. But to then go around and thank Ian Rappaport for that in a press conference after your last game is just, it's bizarre to me. It's odd. It's like, I just can't see Urban Meyer doing that. Like, I can't see. Can you see Bill Belichick doing that? Can you see Bill Belichick admitting that he called the owner to ask about a rumor?
No.
Belichick was in a war with Kraft about Garoppolo.
Right.
So that shows you where he's at with
But they're still straight.
Right. You see the difference?
The difference is he goes to a billionaire and says, this is how I want it done. And we're going to fight.
Right.
And there may be a winner and loser, but after that, no love lost. I'm not begging you for my job.
Kraft did win that fight, but yes.
Facts. You're right. But what I'm saying is he knew that his job was safe no matter what.
Of course.
Like, when he talked.
Well, Kraft went down to South Florida and got, some help too. He has some stress relief.
Right, he had to go get the 3 fingers.
Allegedly. Still haven't seen the tape.
Oh, God. Nobody wants
I've never been to a jail.
How am I supposed to eat some Jell-O?
Can I give
if I see some mess like that? Man.
Can I give you my hate o'clock?
Yes.
It's really fun.
Hate o'clock is real.
It's really fun.
No, it's not, but it's real.
It's Jerome Whitesides and Jessica Renard, his girlfriend. And
who are these people?
And the Sheriff's Department of Jacksonville. These people have been arrested for murder. So first of all, I'll take you through my night, New Year's Eve, quickly. My chick made a reservation at a nice restaurant. We get there, and the lady's like, seats us at our table, hands us special New Year's Eve menus where you have to order like 4 separate dishes, and it was like $70 minimum a person. We instantly got up and left. Went to a cheaper place. Okay, so we ended the night We went for drinks, whatever. We wanted to come back like in time to watch the ball drop at my apartment. Just us two. Very romantic. So it's like 11 o'clock. We're pulling up to my apartment complex, and we're being waved away by the police officers standing in the middle of the street, screaming at me that I can't go in my apartment complex, even though I live there. And I have to find something else to do in the middle of the night. So I park at a gas station, and we walk our ass across the street. And he's claiming, oh, it's not safe, da-da-da-da. So apparently these two, Jerome Whitesides and his girlfriend, Jessica Renard, decided to commit murder in my apartment complex, causing me to almost not be able to celebrate New Year's Eve in my own home.
That's your... Wait.
That's the one I was talking about. You said
hold on. Did I just
And
hear
it
that
wasn't
right?
that big of a deal, was my point, because we've had murders in there, at least a few a year, a couple a year. But he was making it out to be that I wasn't even safe to go in there, as if like they killed this guy and they're still waiting around for me. That's not how murders work, sir, officer.
Y'all, I mean, I'm going to make a desperate plea here to Sportsden Nation right now. We have a group of sponsors, a group of partners, and we need y'all to spend a whole lot of money at these places because JJ is an integral part of our show. And the fact that our producer just said that this happens multiple times per year.
It's not a bad complex.
And there is nothing wrong with that has me a little bit more than concerned that we need to give JJ a raise, James.
Well, yes, I agree with that. But James has been there. It's not a terrible complex. It's fine. It's just like when
James, speak now. And now that you've heard that story, now you give me your opinion.
Listen, man, I haven't lived in the projects in quite some time.
It's not the project.
That's if anybody. I'm gonna tell you, there's been
fringe project.
There's been one murder. It was a murder-suicide in my neighborhood.
Oh, that's different.
In the 10 years that I've lived there.
Yeah,
and
I don't live in a nice neighborhood.
And it was like shocking then. So I mean,
no, this is not shocking.
It's
not shocking. So I had to park my car at the gas station, and then I called the gas station like an hour and a half later and be like, "Hey, bro, don't get it towed." And he was like, "Yeah, I heard there's a murder in there. You know how it is in there." I was like, "Yeah, I live there. It's really not that terrible."
You know what's cool? What's gonna happen? Not cool, but you know how good. This is how great capitalism, how it works. You know what's gonna happen next year, right? Didn't he? He's gonna go up on his rent.
Always, it always does.
Because they've got added police presence.
So
when me and my sister got into
we needed to add security.
Me and my sister got into an argument when she first moved here, like because the sibling rivalry thing, and I had to let her know that.
Wait, your sister moved here?
No, she went to law school here. I'm saying like this was years ago when I first moved. She was just like, she's my sister, but at the same time, you're in my house. It's completely different. This ain't a mom's house anymore. And we're going in, and there was something that she did. We get into this frivolous argument, whatever. She wants to blow up, and she wants to have the last word. And I said, she's like, I'll move out. It's like, fine. Good luck. You have to pay the cable bill here. That's the only thing I'm asking you to pay. Good luck finding an apartment in Jacksonville, Florida that's safe.
All you
safe
have to do
as
is
this.
Pay my bill for cable.
I said, good luck. I was like, you want to know what? You want to know what it's like? Because your brother had to be about that life. To get a decent 1-bedroom apartment, you're paying a stack. So you're gonna have first and last month's rent. You got $2,000. You don't. You don't even have enough money to put up your utility bill, the down payment for your utility bill. You don't have this. We got good cable. We got all the channels. I said, when it's all said and done, that's what you're gonna do. I said, your budget, little funky ass budget, is gonna have you in the projects. I say,
living with me.
I love how JJ just hit us with that. JJ's like, it's a nice place. It's a couple people get shot.
It really isn't bad.
It isn't bad. But then when you have so many people. When you have so many people living in there, you are going to have stuff like that.
But,
by the way,
it's like one of those like thousands and thousands of apartments type places.
176th homicide and last one of the year, by the way. Congrats, Jax. This is what happens when we don't have Mad Dads for an entire year. Haven't heard a new commercial from him in a year.
That's true, though. Like, is he okay? Like, at this point.
Dude, his head's going to explode if they hire Urban.
176. 176 is the number that we just hit here in the city of Jacksonville. And it's crazy. COVID and Jacksonville Jaguars lose, dropping 14 games in a row. It's literally what has led to this streak. 15 games Excuse me. It's got to stop. Urban Meyer could be the key to that. And not Jay.
Yeah, right. With Urban next year, it'll be 180 for sure.
And freeing our two lost soldiers that defend the integrity of the city of Jacksonville. Because you come up into these stands, you will expeditiously catch these hands. 180. That will be the number next year if we don't get Lot J done and we don't hire Urban Meyer. Hit me up on Facebook and tell me what you think. Mad Dance, the voice behind the change.
You're going to run on Teslas.
Oh, man.
We got to move on, don't we?
No,
we
do.
We do? All right.
Yeah, James, by the way, going into the break, or before we came back, he was like, so we're behind. What do I need to do?
Right.
Like break?
No, I'm saying like me and Baloo started. Baloo
Dude,
ended at
you and
8
Baloo.
o'clock. Like,
yeah,
I know.
I was sitting here like, dude, all right, man. Like, you're killing my show right now. Like, Denny's not here. Like,
Baloo loves vibing with you.
It's cool. Like,
I've
to be
noticed
honest with
that.
you, I'm gonna be. Like, I had a friend say that the station's losing money right now. They say a Baloo and Big Game podcast would probably do numbers.
Y'all
Somebody
should.
would be offended. You better bring. Where the cash reside? Where the cash reside?
What did Jalen say? Better bring the Brinks truck.
Yeah, run me my money, man. I know they can get anybody sponsoring it, man. But
We got to get
you think
to.
Frank
We got to get
Frangie
to.
and Dan Hicken are doing a Gators podcast for the low? Absolutely not.
Those are big names.
I mean,
Huge
I know Denny
names.
Thompson and Hackers doing a Gator podcast for the low. I can tell you that right now.
Somebody said JJ stays Eureka Gardens in London Town.
See, I don't know what that is, but I know it's terrible because it has gardens in the name.
Definitely.
In
Right,
Ocala, it was
right.
Parkside
All right.
Gardens.
All right, man.
We got to get to Gainesville. We got to get to what's going on in Gainesville, right?
Yeah, Hogtown Madness.
I don't even know if
on
we
the
have
other side.
time.
We'll figure it out. Hogtown
there's a
Madness
lot
on
to
the
it.
other side.
Wherever you go, we go.
Those are the rules. I didn't make them up.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices to listen anywhere in the world.
Maybe the key to the whole plan. Get it?
Got it. Good.
Cigar City Brewing, Florida's premier craft brewery, delivers vibrant tropical flavor with high-low IPA, a citrus-forward craft beer inspired by the bold tangerine, mango, and clementine qualities of High-Lie IPA. At 4% ABV and 120 calories, High-Low IPA delivers highs in flavor and lows where you'd want them. Check out cigarcitybrewing.com for more information on this Florida original. Cigar City Brewing, Tampa, Florida. Please enjoy responsibly.
Are you having difficulty paying your IRS personal or business taxes due to COVID-19? If you owe a tax debt, there has never been a better time than now to get a resolution. The IRS has rolled out historic tax debt removal guidelines under their Taxpayer Relief Initiative. This COVID-19 program provides opportunities to remove or lessen your tax burden that weren't previously available. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Jacksonville and are experts at negotiating with the IRS. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. Never trust your tax situation to anyone that's not local to you. We've helped thousands of Floridians to overcome IRS and sales tax debt. Let us help you. Call J. David Tax Law today for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic is sharing more love during the Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru of Jacksonville has 0% financing on new Subarus, 90 days with no payments, big year-end savings. Plus, $500 donation with every new Subaru purchase, $250 from Subaru, and a match for $250 from Subaru of Jacksonville through January 4th. Experience the Subaru of Jacksonville difference. Dealer Rater's #1 Subaru dealer in the nation. Online at SubaruofJacksonville.com. Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru. See dealer website for full details.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. You know, I always get great service from McGowan's AC because they hire good people, pay them well, and treat them right. That's why McGowan's is growing and hiring now. You know, the HVAC is a lucrative career, especially here in Florida. So if you're a go-getter with a positive attitude and ready to get working, there's no experience necessary. McGowan's offers full training and will pay you to learn a skill that will last a lifetime. Join their winning team. Call 264-COOL or apply online at McGowan'sAC.com.
Call Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road
We want to win your business with honest and upfront transmission service. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. That's a promise from me. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Now that friends and family have gone home, it's time to invite Zero Res over for a good cleaning. Hickett here. Zero Res can clean your carpets, tiles, sofas, area rugs, and more. My wife just loves it when we have the Zero Res team come to our home. Remember, Zero Res uses no soaps or detergent, so there's no sticky residue left behind. Give Zero Res a call today. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129. Mention 1010XL and get 20% off the tile and grout cleaning. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
I'm Hayes Carline, and what I say goes. Listen to my closing argument presented by the personal injury law firm of Harrell & Harrell weekdays on The Frangie Show. Can you handle the truth?
Instant Keys offers honest professional locksmith service for lost or broken keys and keyless entry remotes. Call Instant Keys at 722-1111. Get dealership level service in just minutes at a fraction of the cost. 722-1111.
No one outfits golfers better than Edwin Watts Golf Shops. We've been fitting golfers since 1968. Utilizing cutting-edge fitting technology, we'll analyze your swing and our Foresight launch monitors and fit you with the perfect club, pair of shoes, the latest golf apparel, golf balls, bags, and more. So come by today for your complete custom fitting. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Business owners and CEOs, apply now for the Jacksonville Small Business Executive Program, designed to help you think differently and become more efficient running your business. This program is presented by the Jim Moran Institute for Global Entrepreneurship in Florida State University's College of Business. Offered at no cost. You'll meet once a month beginning mid-February. Apply before January 29th at jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu. jimmoraninstitute.fsu.edu.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
The Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com, the go-to online cigar shop for cigars, obviously. Type in Sports Den, you get 20% off. Also, if you had a New Year's Eve or just any day half remotely as close to JJ's, go to the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Like, tell them, listen, man, last night somebody caught a body and I need a drink. And what they're going to do is they're going to go help you find the right selection to be able to ease your pain. The good people over there at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, man.
The best part of that story, James, was that the most put out that JJ was the fact that they were going to make him spend $70 at a restaurant.
Right. He was
no,
that's
person.
140.
Per
140 before taxes
per
and gratuities.
No, I mean that's JJ. I'm not mad at you, but I don't know that would have even made my story if somebody got shot.
That's what I was most upset about that night. And luckily,
I know, I could tell.
Luckily, the girl I'm talking to is also low class like myself. And she was immediately like, I screwed up with the reservation. This isn't what they should have told me.
Y'all hadn't been there before?
We have, when it was just like a regular menu.
Did she tell you
what part of town is it?
It's, I don't want to say which place it is, but it's in town center.
Okay.
And it's really nice and it's really classy and the food is delicious. But like when she calls in to put a reservation in, you need to tell her on the phone that things are different that night. And we got, and when we got in the parking lot, it was like swole, packed the last time we went there. And I was like, damn, there's like nobody here for 7:45 p.m. on New Year's Eve. I would expect it to be packed in here. And now I know why.
Well, you know where where people are seeming to like not be at or not want to be at? Hogtown. What in the hell is going on in Gainesville? Like, what's like Dan Mullen is like one of the hottest names in coaching. He's supposed to be in New York, supposed to be going to Atlanta, supposed to be going all over here. They've got a probation coming from the NCAA, all kinds of madness.
Well, they don't have probation coming.
Fired all their defensive coaches except for the guy who was in charge. Which makes sense when you think about it. Forget the guy who's in charge of all the guys. fire everybody else.
There's a lot going on. There's definitely a lot going on in Gainesville right now. I think when you sit back and you think about this, James, when I am like so pro Dan Mullen. I love Dan Mullen. I want Dan Mullen to be the coach at the University of Florida for as long as he can, as long as we can keep him. But when you really start to go back and you start to retrace the last year, there's been a lot, man. There's been a lot. There's been the whole Texas A&M, I want this place full next week, and then half the team gets COVID. There's been the whole Missouri fight at halftime game. There was the Vanderbilt fight at halftime game the year before. There was the show calls recruiting issues that he had. There was, the LSU game of the kid throwing the shoe and him calling it a football play. There was, the list goes on and on and on. And then I even said last week after his comments in the bowl game, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. But I will even admit that now in hindsight, looking at his comments, when you stack that on every other thing that was said, the University of Florida they don't play that game. It's not one of the, McElwain had a death threat, a lot about a death threat, was gone, 3 weeks later?
Yeah.
So I just think there's tension, man. I think, and the difference in Mullen and other cats is Mullen's strong enough that he ain't gonna give an inch. Like, he believes in what he's doing, and he should, and he's very successful, and he is in demand, and he can have just about any job that the guy wants. And people keep talking about, well, why does the NFL want him? He hadn't won a natty, he hadn't won an SEC championship. Man, y'all go look at the NFL coaches like Cliff Kingsbury was a 500 coach. He is desirable enough that he can go to an AD or he can go to a department and say, look, this is the way I do things. And he did that. And I made it that point last week, James, and you and I got after a little bit. He made himself a lightning rod, and he said, I know what's going to come when I say this. I understand the reaction, but I'm going to say it anyway. And once you say that, and once you make that, you better be able to back it up. And now, is he there in a week? I don't know. What do you think?
He was looking last year, and he is looking this year. And he's doing what 90% of you guys do with your jobs. Like, you're all, like, just because you're at it, like, I have a friend, Collier, who's really big in IT. Like, so when our high school had an IT track, and he took it, and he's been making like damn near six figures since we got out of high school. He's really, really good at it. This man had 3 jobs in 3 weeks, each one making more than the other. He's always looking for the next job, and he's always making the job that he's at stay on their toes to make sure that they do what they need to do for him, because he's that damn good. When you become who wouldn't want to be that damn good at your job that you call and you dictate the shots? This is me kind of defending them on that. I don't think he's leaving. I think
you don't.
I think he wants to. I don't think the NFL, like, he's number 3 on their options, if that makes sense. Like, on a lot of teams' boards. Like, so he would have to go into a situation that's less favorable, and that's probably not the smartest career path for him right now. He knows he's going to be fine at Florida, even if him and the athletic director aren't the best of friends. I always go into this thing where I don't have to like you. I just need you to do right. Need you to do your job well, which means you're going to do right by me, and I'm going to do my job well, which means I'm going to do right by you. And I think that's really where it becomes.
So you really think Dan Mullen is the head coach next year at the University of Florida?
I think it's less, again, it's a little bit about the NFL. It is more about AD Foley being smart. Because no matter how pissed
Strickland.
My bad, Strickland. I went back.
I got you. No, you just lost me for a second.
Yeah, no matter how bad the situation might be, you'll make it worse by trying to have a measuring contest right now. Because you're not going to get the top guy. You're going to have to. You're going to have to promote Brian Johnson or somebody like that. I just say Brian will probably be the more popular name right now, who is going to be a good coach.
Lane?
But Lane ain't coming here.
You don't think he would?
Lane ain't going to go. No. No, Lane would
Tom
rather
Herman?
be there and destroy it. Tom Herman, which means you'll do the reverse. To me, that's a step down. But hear me out real quick.
You're not. What you're saying is you're not going to improve.
You're going to put yourself in the situation that Arizona put themselves in with Rich Rod. Rich Rod, they hired Sumlin, who wasn't as good a coach as Rich Rod, because they had no other choice when they could have just their hand was forced. They could have just promoted within, but again, or they could have just figured out next year, fire him with cause early next year, and then go through the proper channels. Like if you put Brian Johnson on this team next year, you're probably going to be a 7-4 or 7-5 team, and it's not his fault. And you're going to say he's an interim coach. Now you're going to get out, and now you've just stunted the growth of a guy who has a really good career track, in my opinion. If he doesn't come back.
I don't know. I like if you were going to have me bet right now, is Dan Mullen the coach for the University of Florida starting the season? I think I'd go with you and say yes. And I think almost for the same reason, because for the life of me, this is much I know about the University of Florida. They the AD is the boss there, and the AD has a lot of power there. And if you can't, they learned a lesson with McElwain. They learned a lesson that if we don't have the replacement lined up, and if we don't have a list of 2 or 3 guys that we feel like put us in a better situation immediately, then we can't move. And I can't think of a single coach that is an upgrade from Dan Mullen that would be available to the University of Florida. The closest thing that I can think of that would be available would probably be Tom Herman. And I don't think that's an upgrade in any way, shape, or form from Dan Mullen. And I know it's not. So if I can't think of an upgrade, then you know what? I don't care what he did to make you mad. I don't care if he didn't want to fire the defensive coaches. I don't care if he got caught, in some recruiting violation or whatever it is. Deal with it. You hired him. You're winning. You stood behind him. Like the last 3 games,
made that mistake. And I'm not saying that it worked out. It worked out with Mullen.
This doesn't change anything, right? You're right.
And this is where everybody has to take a page and look at how big boys move. Texas, now it may not work out for them, but Texas made a big boy move. There was the first time not a leak happened. That caught everybody off guard.
What Texas just did was crazy.
And it was business. The athletic director 3 weeks ago said that man's job was good and safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that he was not only fired, within the next 10 minutes, we find out who they hired.
Yeah.
That's how you lead. That's how you do it. You don't fire somebody until you know without a shadow of a doubt that you have the hire lined up, especially if you're going to make it in a bad time with bad timing. And like whether the early signing day, middle of the season, if you're going to do that, that's what I call a big boy move. You got to make sure you're ready to deal with what comes with that. You don't go for your second choice.
Florida's leaking oil though right now, man. Like it's an all-out. It's not a leak. It's an oil spill right now. It's amazing when you look at the University of Florida. When you look at what's happening in Gainesville, and you go back to 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, LSU game, whenever that was, 4 weeks ago,
right before the LSU game.
Yeah, to now. I mean, look at the difference in the way everybody thinks about the University of Florida, including Florida fans. I do think that's part of, though, like Florida's known for that. Florida fans are known for that type of stuff, and it is an overreaction. I think there's a big overreach on a lot of this stuff. I think there was last week when they lost the bowl game. But I will tell you that I'm at best 50-50 that he's going to be the head coach there next year. At best.
I mean, I know what my sources have told me. I don't normally go against them because they're normally not wrong. I just don't think in this situation either side has a better card to play. I guess Mullen would technically have the bigger card right now, but they've already made the move that made you want to pull the card. And you only get to pull that card so many times.
I mean, you're not going to New York.
And that's what's you think we call you weird here. Imagine in New York.
Imagine the New York media when
City.
your wife is out there kissing all the Jets.
Now, if
Y'all
anybody
let
wants,
that go,
if anybody wants to leave, boy, she was over there salivating, COVID all in them lips.
Darnold already had the kissing disease.
Yeah, Watto. Oh man, that's wild.
But I mean, if the rumor last year was true that the Cowboys were interested in Dan Mullen, I mean, with Dak, he would have been gone, right? If this was something that he really wanted that badly, I can't imagine a situation. I don't care who's made who's mad, who's hurt whose feelings at the University of Florida. To leave Gainesville to go to Atlanta or the Jets right now, if you're Dan Mullen, I just think it's a step down, even though it's the NFL. When all you got to do is just recapture what you had before those last 3 games, and you do get whatever NFL job you want when it comes open.
I do think that's easier said than done because you saw what the talent level was on the field, and you're gonna have a dip next year. I'm not saying it's permanent, but there probably will be a slight dip.
See, I don't think there's as much of a deficiency though, James. I really don't. I mean, I think there's positionally some issues. I think in a couple years it could get bad. But if you go through and you look at that roster, especially with the guys who have elected to stay, there's a lot of talent at Florida next year. Like there should be fairly high expectations.
Well, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on here the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. Well, really more so the next week or so, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. This is the Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. We'll be right back.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
Look, I'm the station manager.
Mornings
I'm responsible for the quality of work here at the station, so.
On 1010XL.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Manning was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the 5 words he spoke before leaving for his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today fuel the spirit of Travis Manning Foundation. Words that live in veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians who go out of their way to find a way, who help others with the help of others, who bounce back after each setback, who make good on good intentions. Through Travis Manning Foundation, if not me, then who, are words that can live in you too. Show the world what your character is made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismanion.org. That's travismanion.org.
Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic is sharing more love during the Subaru Share the Love event. Subaru of Jacksonville has 0% financing on new Subarus, 90 days with no payments, big year-end savings. Plus, $500 donation with every new Subaru purchase, $250 from Subaru, and a match for $250 from Subaru of Jacksonville through January 4th. Experience the Subaru of Jacksonville difference. Dealer Rater's #1 Subaru dealer in the nation. Online at SubaruofJacksonville.com. Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru. See dealer website for full details.
Are you ready to replace the windows in your home but don't know which company to hire? Because they all say the same thing anyway? Made for Florida, built for Florida. This is the best window for your home. 30, 40, 50% off if you sign today. The culture of Kohler Homes is to offer options from all the Florida-approved manufacturers, not just one. Without the pressure sales of buy this window today. We'll provide an educating consultation, not a sales pitch, then pinpoint the best option no matter who the manufacturer is. Don't fall for the pressure sale and don't limit your options. Let the consultants at Kohler Homes of Jacksonville help you choose the right manufacturer. Kohler Homes, the right choice.
So you didn't get the perfect present last month. Well, it's not too late. Mystic Cornhole Company is open and still builds custom high-quality cornhole boards right here in Jacks. Visit their shop on Phillips Highway and see their designs at mysticcornholecompany.com.
It could get a little warm on the Roof It Right hot seat.
Would you mind not breathing fire on me?
When players and NFL experts join Jaguars today from 10 to noon on 1010XL. Roof It Right. Roof it right so you can sleep at night.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Mike Dempsey here. Folks, if you want a great meal for on the go, you got to try the Steakhouse Burger from Dandy Foods. I'm talking about a quarter-pound patty of 100% beef, provolone and Monterey Jack cheese, pickles, and a special sauce they whip up for a unique, flavorful kick. And it comes on fresh baked brioche and checks in at over a half pound of juicy goodness. So the next time you're on the go, stop into a Circle K and make yours a dandy steakhouse burger, and do it today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
The Sports Den brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you grab something before Wednesday night show. Start sipping on it. Remember, we're on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday also this week, so we've added extra time. Did not get to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures today. Let's get through some of these good ones. I just found one that was great. Dang it, where was the
Lots of people enjoyed
JJ?
my story.
Yeah, I saw that.
JJ is the best producer at 1010. When he chimes in, it's usually hilarious. It sounds like he just put the blunt down, yet he's always on point. That's everything a producer should be raised do. 962 brought up something that I'm shocked we didn't not have really good time to go into. Our guy, more than I guess everybody else's guy, Mayor Curry, straight up challenging dunks to fisticuffs.
We
Straight
gotta
up
talk
bang 'em.
about. We gotta use this as a whole segment on Wednesday.
Straight up
honestly.
bang 'em style. Like it's just crazy. But I loved it. Because we did Dan, I gotta do this with 572 because fair is fair, right? James, I heard a crazy story about Jimbo's ex-wife. Disappointed I heard it from a different source and not you. Like, okay.
You just heard one story?
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
Dom says this show went fast. 303 LMA a lot of O's. You guys are wild.
I like that.
Does Alcavita alkaline water cure COVID? I see Denny drinking some water and he still has COVID. That could explain it.
We never told you it cures COVID.
They might have spiked the water. Thank you guys so much. When I heard Monroe called Shad and asked about his job, my first thoughts was, what a bleep move. That by itself is a fireable offense. 860.
Do you think Shad even had his number saved in his phone? That's probably why he answered.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug who? Doug, what do you want?
His wife was like, who's that calling you so late? Some 904 number. I don't know. Just sit in the basement. How do they have a satellite phone? We're in the yacht.
We've got tomorrow or Wednesday night. We're gonna have to get into that press conference today, though, because I think Shad said a lot today.
Hey,
I think so much.
Hold up. Let's put this out here. I'm telling you, your sick ass is gonna work. If they drop this news tomorrow,
something big's happening.
We're going on stream. We're going Facebook Live, man.
No, absolutely.
Big happens on a Tuesday, and if it happens, we're I promise you, we might be coming up here. And Helmets and Heels might have to go to the side, though. They're gonna have to fight. Something's gonna have to happen.
No, I'm with you. If something happens, tomorrow, then we are at worst doing a Facebook Live. I can't believe what? It's January 4th, dog. We didn't even make it.
Just say it. All good things happen.
Isn't this our anniversary?
On a Tuesday. Yeah.
Isn't this our birthday?
It's our birthday. Happy 6th birthday.
6th. Yeah, something like that.
It's a 6 more.
Hopefully.
Not a chance.
After today's show.
Not a chance.
All right, guys. Brad Denny _Thompson. I'm at Big Game James _36. That's at JJ LaSelva. This is the Sports Den. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
No good, hand me down, been around tradition. A neighborhood, no good, hand me down, been around tradition.
The home of Jaguars fans.
We're all a big family, not just a team, but the fans too.